One of us is an imposter.
This is gonna be a disaster.
Play the song.
A disaster?
The
Play
barbecue
the
song.
song.
Oh, I don't have a song. I have an impromptu song that I can do.
Well, yeah, play a song.
Okay, fucking 3 cute boys plus 2 cute boys. What do you get? Fucking 5 cute boys in a fucking garage, having lots of fun, eating lots of meat, and listening to sick beats.
Hey, it's the Martin Marufo podcast.
Hey,
What's
welcome
going
to the
on?
Martin Rupfo / cultural Mike Geist / 3 cute boys podcast.
So much is going on.
There's a lot.
Currently, it's the 3 cute boys plus 2 handsome men podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
And a
Yeah.
poodle.
And a poodle.
It's a pod fae.
We have men with us to show us how to live our lives.
Yeah. Hang on, I gotta open every podcast with a boring story about something I did that will lead nowhere. So
I think the patriarchy has glanced over this beautiful.
this beautiful podcast.
Oh,
If you're a Martin Marufi, you know.
Yeah, the Marufis. I forgot we coined that when we did
the patriarchy has glanced
I
over this
repeated it
beautiful
on this
parfait poodle pun that Kayla has made.
It's okay. No
Which
one
was
needs
what?
to revisit. Listen, if a pun fails, you don't go back and shoot it again.
I just felt like it was a great pun.
You let the pun die
the
with dignity,
patriarchy
Mike.
didn't let the pun live.
There is no dignity on the 3 Cute Boys podcast.
That's absolutely true.
I don't know if
Martin
that's true.
started this podcast by saying he's not going to talk at all, and he's the only one talking so far. So
Goddamn
I really
right.
like.
As
As
soon as we
This
turned the mic
fucking
on,
thing.
a flip was switched in
I know.
Martin's
The
head.
flip was
where he-
switched.
And it got real anti-Semitic.
we don't say anything that Martin's big boy job can't handle. 1 second in, Jews.
I said beautiful. All right.
It's not like it works for
proceeded to
Disney.
do
It's a turn of phrase you've never heard.
impersonation.
That's a dutiful bouquet.
Does he like
Is
him?
that
Does
the
he not?
bit we
I don't know.
promised to do?
Yeah.
Just run that into the ground.
We
Is
ran
that a
Turn this
Judas
thing off.
flower?
A Judas flower? It betrayed someone?
Yeah, a devil
Was
flower.
Judas Priest Jewish?
I got to know something. What is this podcast usually about?
That's
what do we
a
usually
great
talk
question.
about?
Usually, primarily a hate
Wait,
speech
have you ever heard of
podcast.
a Rorschach test?
Well, now.
This podcast is essentially a Rorschach test where it could be about whatever you think it's about.
Okay.
Write us
We're
in on
doing
what
free
you
form.
think this podcast is
Yeah,
about.
We're
please
going
let us
hard
know.
alt-right on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got 2 guys with shaved heads. We're already off to a
Oh,
good start.
boy.
And a poodle, though, so I think we're in balance.
Yeah, but a shaved poodle.
Guys, I needed to.
Completely
I
naked.
told Chris this last night, and this is a true story. So I live here at the Comedy Mansion,
TM.
and we live just outside of kind of a nice subdivision that is at the base of a nice park in Santa Rosa. And I take my dog for a walk really late at night, every night when I come home from like the city doing a mic, or like I get off of work real late, and I take my dog for a walk. And I always encounter this guy who is out in the middle of the street in the subdivision. I've encountered him 5 times.
You mean Smokey Joe? The guy that stands in a pile of dry brush and smokes his cigarette aggressively?
No,
40
Oh,
to 50
no.
times a day?
That's
It's
the
a
guy
bold
who...
move.
Chris Ferdinand.
Oh, no. You are about to hear a much wilder story. The first 3 times I've met this man is about 1 in the morning. He is in the middle of the street in a very nice subdivision in a full karate gi,
Oh,
practicing
yes.
nunchucks.
Oh,
Are you
yes.
serious?
Yes.
That's
And I
called
walk...
training.
And I'm walking, and I'm like,
practicing.
the first time I saw him, I'm like, it's 1 in the morning, it's dead quiet in a peaceful subdivision. This guy's practicing.
He's keeping these streets
That's right.
safe.
He's
That's why it's
dedicated.
peaceful.
Didn't you see the neighborhood watch sign, Mike? It's in effect.
He is the neighborhood watch.
It's
Have
not
you
that guy
have
with
you
the hat,
been
it's a
bothered by
fucking-
anyone but him?
nunchucks.
No.
He's
'cause
like, there's
got
this
it
dude
under
walking his
control.
dog every night at 1 in the morning. What the fuck is
So
up?
I
with
walk,
that?
Yeah.
I walk past him, and we've had the same conversation every single time. He's like, never once have I brought up the nunchucks, and I say, and he's like, how's it going? I'm like, pretty good. He's like, how's your evening going? Which is the same question. He asked me it twice. I'm like, pretty good. He's like, enjoying your walk with your dog? I'm like, pretty good.
So specific.
Yeah.
No, that was the first 3 times I've met him. The last 2 times, he has been out in front of his house.
Why are you now
How do you know it's his house?
These are great
This
questions.
is
That's the question that needs to be
You've
asked.
thrown a monkey right into this
What if there's a
whole...
terrified family inside?
He's holding them hostage from outside the house.
They're like every day at 1
So,
o'clock.
hold on.
Don't
hold
you
on.
get out that door!
Because this story is much
Chuck the shit
wilder.
out of
So
you.
the last 2 times I've encountered him, he's been wearing a leather vest, leather gloves, nothing on under the leather vest, shirt, pants,
yeah.
and shoes. Like he
Wow.
was doing like the movie.
But
the
still doing the nunchuck thing?
No, he's had a bow staff the last 2 times I've encountered him.
Get the fuck out! What?
And
Wow.
literally identical conversation I've had with him all 5 times I've encountered him.
Just the same boring.
This plays into my theory that we're in the Matrix and there's a bunch of NPCs wandering around. Because why else is there a guy at 1 a.m. with a bow staff
Dude,
giving
it's,
you the exact same pop-up bubble?
I'm gonna just say, like,
Wow.
it's much wilder to me that you've introduced the theory that he perhaps doesn't live there, and that's maybe like a thwarted lover
Can
lives
you
in that
imagine?
house.
Wait, I
I
want
bet
to
it's his
set.
mom.
Yeah, I want to
You
set
should
the.
drive to
A
that
significant mother.
There's a significant mother living there. I want to set the stage where you encounter this. You're like, that's quirky. Inside, there's a terrified woman. And every day at 1 a.m, this guy shows up unannounced and does karate moves in front of her home in increasingly less articles of clothing.
Maybe he's trying to impress her.
Yeah, maybe she's getting turned on.
Here's the
And
thing.
fucking
Also-
like, oh yeah. Look at
Also, there
It's
could
like
be
John Cusack.
this.
It's a boombox.
there
Yeah.
could
But
be
with
just a
nunchucks.
guy in my neighborhood who's just trying to practice his sick karate moves, and in the middle of the night, there's some gigantic man walking a little dog.
Does karate use nunchucks? Is that part of karate?
Dude, I
It's
don't
more
know.
Krav Maga.
Guys,
No,
can I
it's
ask you a
not.
question?
That's
Is it
bullshit.
I don't know.
Don't
I
squint when you're bullshitting.
don't know.
Is
I
it
don't know.
nunchucks or nunchucks?
I believe it's
Nunchucks.
nunchucks.
It's
I thought it was
And
numb,
twins.
like nunchucks.
They were
As in a
invented
nun.
by nuns in the mid 17th century to protect
That's
the
right.
nunnery
This is
The
a
from
nunnery?
grain vandals.
anachronism.
The nunnery.
People would break in and steal all the grain they'd harvested that year, and they would leave them with nothing for the winter. And so one nun realized that if she took candlesticks and tied the wicks together, it was an improvised weapon that
Sister
they could use
Mary's
to
like,
protect.
I've had enough.
Yeah, you can only do needlepoint passive aggressively for so long before you protect your fucking grain stores. Okay.
This is like I'm done fucking myself with the chairs of these.
When you're done
these-
fucking yourself with a
the legs of
candlestick,
these chairs, let's sew them together.
Good lord.
Defend myself and my fiefdom.
now I'm pondering the mechanics of fucking yourself with a chair leg. Do you flip the chair over
You need
and then
somebody else
squat?
to do it.
I just think that's something nuns did.
Fuck themselves with chair legs?
That I think
For the Lord?
Do you know
For Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Do
no,
you know
that
the
sounds
origin-
ridiculous.
Do you know the origin
Fucking
of like witches riding brooms is like there were women who were like masturbating
With broomsticks?
with broomsticks that had like hallucinogenic oils on them.
Fuck yeah.
So
Sign
people were
me the
like,
fuck up.
so people were like, these witches are over here riding brooms,
I'll ride that bitch all the way.
Damn.
And that's how feminism was
Yeah.
born.
and that's
I heard about this really fit woman who would do pull-ups. Who would do
Next
pull-ups
thing you know,
in her
you have
closet.
Ocean's 8.
Oh my god.
I heard about this woman who do pull-ups in her closet, and she had a broomstick standing up, and she would do pull-ups on top of and then down onto
Wow.
a broomstick standing up.
I'm just
and
gonna
then
say
back
that
up onto-
requires.
It requires a setup that I don't have.
I don't like
you
it when
need,
you
That's not
say-
just arm strength, that's core
Listen,
strength.
not for lack of trying. Not for lack of trying. He
Believe
doesn't
me,
have that
my
setup.
closet does not have the support. I've broken it 4 times.
Could you imagine dying because your pull-up bar broke and you impaled your asshole on a broomstick and bled to
I
death?
can only be so lucky.
We could all only
What
be
a way to
so
go.
Yeah. I flew too close to the sun, apparently.
Icarus. Classic Icarus.
I tried to explain Icarus to my 3-year-old daughter the other day, and mid-explanation, I was like, "This might be a little above board and a little niche."
Well,
to
the
explain
message is don't be too ambitious.
Right,
You really
which is
wanna
what
say
you want
that
to
to your
teach.
kids?
Yeah, that's what you want your kids to know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a
Hey, don't
fucked
try
up,
too hard.
Kind of a fucked up lesson to teach kids.
Yeah, that's what Mike.
Did you try
Mike's
with
saying.
the
You
fucking
can't be
yourself with a
anything.
broomstick analogy?
Yeah, next time I'm gonna be like, kids, you know, sometimes life is like pull-ups when you fall and get a broomstick in your ass.
They will have so
It's an
many questions for
antiquated
you.
metaphor, you guys. I don't know. Back in my day.
Learning a lot.
It's kind of like when you hear a metaphor translated from another language, and it's
Yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
and that's why the fox ran up the asshole in the drain pipe.
Sometimes you're the frog, sometimes you're the asshole.
Sometimes you're both.
The classic fable, the frog and the asshole.
Sometimes you're
I
a
think
frog with his
Richard
frog
Gere
tongue
wrote that
licking the
one.
asshole like a,
Richard Gere wrote that fable.
like a fly. Yeah.
Isn't it fascinating that is a pervasive urban legend that is spanned generations?
Absolutely. I think it's one of my favorites.
Like, hold on. Okay, so I say Richard Gere, you think.
Hamster in his butthole.
Okay, I say Marilyn Manson, you think.
Removing his ribs to suck his
Damn
dick.
straight! Isn't that fucking weird?
Listen,
Wait,
if I can leave such a legacy. So Marilyn Manson supposedly removed his bottom 2 ribs so he could suck his own dick. And
yeah, I
follow
heard
up
that.
story, we lived in Marin City and I went to Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School, and when I was 10 my mom decided we all know Martin's a racist. When my mom decided
I'm just wondering what horrible thing you're going to say about Martin Luther King.
he's fine.
A valid white supremacist.
Fine, he's okay.
He allegedly also removed his ribs, but so my mom decided
He had a dream.
Martin Luther King, great
I'm
civil rights, could
definitely
suck
getting
a
fired.
mean.
yeah, I hope that your boss, but then you
Enjoy
can,
your last free moments, Martin.
if anyone listens to this and tries to fire anyone because of it, you can be like, "Why were you listening to that fucking podcast in the first place?"
Hey, Dad, don't fire me.
But,
My dad
that.
already fired me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Is that real?
Huh?
Is that real?
Almost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have
I've almost gotten fired a bunch of times. But I have a good job because
These
of
are
my mom.
both.
It's okay.
Aw,
We
it's
don't-
just a sitcom.
we don't
Would you
have to
be-
finish the story. I
These
was
gentlemen
midway telling
both work for their
patriarchy.
fathers
It's
doing the
okay.
exact
Yeah.
same
We'll
job.
just keep going.
Yeah, no, finish.
No,
Finish.
I'm not going to finish.
No,
As,
go ahead.
as
King
per
High School.
usual, I'm not going to finish.
Oh, come on.
Oh, boy.
We're all listening.
Shots
Sorry.
fired.
I think
Shots
we're
fired.
Shots definitely.
Shots fired.
Hey,
now.
score one more for Kayla on the board.
Oh, put it up on the petty.
I think you're 3 for 3
on the
so
petty
far.
counter. Put
That's
a
pretty
bean
good.
in the
Domestic
jar.
disputes
Yeah.
on a podcast.
Listen, if that's the place to air your dirty laundry is in front of none people.
Are we?
That's right.
The only dirty laundry we have
You
is
can-
filling up in your closet.
I like
All
the way
right.
you said filling up.
Can we please go back to the story?
Are
What
we
were you
allowed
gonna
to
say?
talk about what happened yesterday, or is that not something we
No,
should?
that's not.
Well, now that you brought it up, I did take mushrooms yesterday and freaked the fuck out.
Oh.
Now I have a lot of stories in the queue. Okay,
Now.
I don't know if this is the time nor the place.
we can do a whole podcast.
We
on
don't
that
have
story.
to discuss this, but it was
I
pretty
want to
funny.
hear. Okay.
I think we can leave it as a teaser for maybe a later time. I'll talk about it.
Well,
I'll
once
talk
he's
about it
moved
on
on.
stage. Come and see me do stand up, and I'll talk about it on stage.
Spanky's Bar every Monday.
Spanky's Bar every Monday, baby.
All right.
I got a
Spanky's Bar is
residency.
That's
It's,
right.
no, there's no payoff.
He's been
to this story.
banned
It's gone too
before.
far.
I've been banned
You
before.
have,
I'll
okay,
get
no,
banned.
shut up. We
No,
have
I'm
to go
never,
back
it's
to your
such a,
story.
No, it's a terrible. Please, God, why?
Why? Well, why
a
did
bad
you start
story.
telling the
It's-
story if you...
Did you
Because
start?
I thought it was just gonna wrap up, and then 5 men are gang banging my fucking hopes and dreams over here, and so that's what happened.
Hey,
Which hole did I
hey.
get?
4.
4.
4 men.
Dog
Yeah,
counts.
The
Dog
dog
is
counts.
The dog counts. It so counts.
Look,
yeah.
if I can get paid extra, I'm gonna get paid extra.
Oh,
Y'all shut up for that one?
Yeah.
Well, now all I have to talk about is fucking dogs, and everyone's quiet. Lottie.
I
This is
mean,
aggressive.
I haven't
I
read
thought
it.
this was a feminist 70 cents on the dollar
Look,
riff,
given-
and it turned out to be a dog fucking riff.
Given the
She went
fact,
full Richard
I
Pryor.
went full. Look, if you can go dog fucking, go dog fucking. Especially given the events of the day, I think you guys should all be a little gentler.
I think I should get that as a chess piece.
Yeah. By the way, everybody get out. I gotta get some material.
I haven't read I haven't read a lot of erotica, but
I want everyone to know
fuck your
Martin's
dog.
the
dog is-
erotica I have read has been about dog fucking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, being the fucky or the fucker?
It was like a group raping of a woman.
No!
Oh, Martin and I have real big kid jaws.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I have real kids, so
like a German Shepherd started.
I'm gonna veto
You know,
this. No,
and then,
no,
like, other
no,
dogs.
I came into this with the
no.
understanding
Listen,
that if there was
until
going to
I
be
get-
bestiality,
Talk
there would be
about this
consent.
Mike,
Okay.
until I get a button, I need a
We
button.
need to discuss this later.
We are
It was
talking-
implied consent.
We were talking
Oh.
passive receiver
wow.
bestiality only as God intended.
Wait,
Good Lord.
was the woman liking it?
It started off like, no, stop.
So,
it.
no, I'm not
And
okay
then
with this.
it,
No.
Of course
say
she came
no to
around.
Guys,
Chris's
we
mouth
really.
says
Yeah.
no, but his eyes say
You know what?
yes.
I'm walking
please.
out of the room right now. I'll see you guys later. I'm
Martin's
going.
walking
There
out
goes
with the
Martin.
dog on
As
his
you can
head.
hear, the door close.
Fuck
That was
I'm
a
like,
master.
Like a
God.
fucking radio DJ.
This bit is blown because everyone who listens to this podcast regularly knows we do it in a garage.
Yeah, you never know. There could be a door in the garage. Hashtag there's not.
When there's a garage door.
Good God.
It's different.
So back to my story.
Yay.
Yeah, Martin Luther
A
King.
garage door. Is it a wall
Is it a wall?
or a door?
Is it a gateway or
It's
a
just a
barrier?
wall with a hinge.
It's just
Every door is a wall with a hinge, man.
If you
bumper
believe.
sticker. That's a bumper sticker.
All right, so back to Martin Luther King.
I don't think that's going to take off as well as the pet rock. But
Which
What?
we'll
Oh my goodness!
All right, I've learned a few lessons today.
there's a very perfect
One
look on
cute
Christopher
boy.
Dance's face.
One-
one,
boy
if you're
just
going to
doesn't
take
now.
mushrooms, take half. Two.
No, I learned that lesson yesterday. But you know, I'm not mad at the amount of mushrooms I took. I'm mad that I took the mushrooms in the first place.
Really, what
Are
happened?
I
I'll
think
say
that was the best. You were the nicest person I've ever met after that.
Really?
it
Yeah.
took Mike Whitaker being the mushroom shaman. To
Yes,
talk him down.
yes. I was freaking out. Mike
Wow.
Whitaker came out to the front and talked to me and calmed me down, and I started feeling much better.
Yeah,
That's
Mike's
great.
a very
That's great.
soothing
Yeah.
presence
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
in the Comedy Mansion grounds.
We had a heart to heart, Mike. Can I say that? We had a heart to heart.
We had a heart to heart.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Wow.
Did you have a?
We had
So-
a dick to ass.
Dick to ass to mouth.
I was gonna say dick to dick.
It's like a train to a bus.
Do you guys hold on? I have a question. Do men
But I'm not
ever?
going
It's a
anywhere.
human
You're not going
centipede
in.
with just two people.
Oh God.
Isn't that 69?
That's 69ing,
That's
basically.
a human ringworm, I think.
Score one for Martin.
I'm curious to hear your question, Gayla.
Do guys ever get rock hard and then gently touch their dick tips together, and then pull them apart slowly? and then
I'm gonna let the heterosexual members of this conversation address this first.
Well, the urge is there.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about humans or dogs?
I'm talking to humans.
Okay. No.
Well, in that case,
my
no.
God.
I have never touched penises with another person.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Same.
There's no.
And an enlarged clitoris? Maybe. I don't
I
know.
just want to see an ET phone home of dicks.
Just go on Omegle.
Ah. Oh, should we pull up Omegle right now and ask
What is
them?
And all jerk off
Oh.
onto it.
No.
It would be like
like
a
chat roulette.
chatterbait or a.
Isn't it like chat roulette? But like,
Yeah,
It'd
they
be
just made dick roulette and then or whatever
Dick
the gay
roulette?
one.
It'd be
was.
so confusing if we
I'm
all
back
jerked
out of
off
this,
on
guys.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'll definitely
Actually, I know I
jeopardize
could
our
get
big boy
hard.
jobs.
dick roulette?
I'm already hard.
Pretty much, they made
I've
a
talked
chat.
so many times on this podcast about how hard I've gotten.
Chat roulette
It's really
became
funny.
such
Can we
a.
not have crosstalk happening on the podcast? This is not a terrible Thanksgiving dinner.
Crosstalk? What category on Pornhub is that? What is crosstalk?
The
It's
most
for
boring.
blind
Is that
people.
like a
It's for
Crosstalk.
blind.
three-way with
That's-
two people talking
it's
during
a
it,
pe-
one person
no,
trying to butt
it's a
in?
Sunday
I think
morning
the
show
porn
about
for
God.
blind people
Literally
is just
butting
Kayla
in.
making wet cat mouth noises into the microphone.
Look,
Like
we
a
all
snack
know I
cat.
spent an
Driving
entire
me.
episode eating pussy. I can't eating my own pussy.
I can't believe we didn't talk about that. There was
Have you
another
never
woman in
seen-
here, and you were eating her pussy
the
the
whole
entire
time.
time.
And I was managing to talk through the pussy, which
Oh
I
my
want
God.
you all to know is very difficult.
The sound actually came out of the girl's mouth.
Yeah. It was like
You would make a flew into her.
I whispered it.
Guys,
It was like
where
this-
is the toy?
left it
It was like
outside.
those things at the playground where you're talking to it, then like 30 yards away, there's another one.
Yeah.
But like in
What do you
the
think
ear.
Alexander Graham Bell was watching when he figured out how to make a telephone?
He was whispering into a
Lesbian
vagina.
porn.
That's right.
Of course.
He was watching lesbian porn on the television when he invented this
right.
gramophone.
You guys ever watch porn on TV?
Yeah.
On, like
I
Cinemax?
have.
HBO's Cinemax or
Guys,
fucking
back
Apple
in the
TV.
I had a great
Pornhub.
conversation
Yeah.
with it. Maybe actually I shouldn't name the comedian about like childhood experiences about watching like HBO late at night.
Yeah.
I used to love that show, Real Sex.
I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
used to
Yeah.
watch that.
All right,
You did?
this is the
I watched
this-
Zane's Sex Chronicles actually.
I've
most
never
of all,
seen
which is a
that.
black porno the whole time.
See, here's the thing about like real sex because it was just like when you're young and like anything
Nothing's
erotic will get your engine going.
Yeah, like a Sunset magazine.
But if you like look,
You look at your can like it's an ex-girlfriend. Yeah, Sunset Magazine.
if you
Broke
watch
my heart.
if you watch any of the real sexes back, it's all about like ugly people in Florida
Yeah.
I love
having
that.
group sex.
I love
Yeah.
that it was people that no one should fucking at all times.
That's my demographic.
That's why I think
I mean, that's Florida.
That's really what I.
as a
That's really
whole.
what I go for.
There was pony play. Was
There
that-
was
Pony play?
play?
Yeah, where you dress up like a pony and someone rides you around town.
Yeah.
Do you guys recall the show Undressed on MTV?
No.
no.
Undressed was a thing that like can't be re-syndicated because it used so much like music they can't relicense.
Oh.
That was like popular at the time, but it was just like a late night show on MTV that came on at like midnight. That was like a cheesy soap opera that was like maybe an erotic soap opera that would like kind of not show any sex, but like show
But
people
they showed D
about
and
to
the
hook
V.
up, you know?
D and the V or
Do you-
nah?
No.
Nah. Do you
not
guys
MTV.
remember Room Raiders?
Room Raiders?
Dude, I
Yeah.
do remember Room Raiders.
I do.
That gave me fucking panic attacks.
No, that show was hilarious. So it was like you take 3 people and 1 person, and they go to the
They
prospective
kidnap
dates,
them from their own homes.
quote unquote.
The fuck?
What?
It was just a trope. You get kidnapped from your own home, you get thrown in a van.
People know they're being kidnapped. Obviously.
Yeah, yeah,
'cause
No, well,
they
see,
have
here's the
to.
thing. Sometimes they'd kidnap people and they'd be like out of the shower in a towel.
Yeah, of
or
course,
something.
because
Well, that's
that's
on
good
purpose.
TV.
What? Yeah, that's
They'd
good
put
TV.
him. The producer would put him in the shower,
And then
they'd count down.
their prospective date would
Go through their bedroom and find things about them to judge whether or not
Oh,
they should
I
date them.
have seen
not,
that show.
Not on
Oh
looks.
my
But
God.
every single time it was a dude going through ladies' rooms, he'd go in her panty drawer without fail and pull out her period panties and go, I don't know about this. I don't know if I can date a girl with panties like this.
Dude.
And every time I'd be like, we all menstruate, bro.
Wait.
I don't know what
You
girls
got
wanna
you have
date.
designated period
Dude,
panties.
I recall.
Yeah, you don't wanna ruin your
That's
very,
a thing.
Because you're not gonna, you have the good panties.
Especially if you don't always use pads or tampons, you need those periods.
You have designated.
I'm gonna
underwear.
let the woman speak on this, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. I
I want everyone
I
to think
got
he's
no
pointing to
horse in
Chris
this
right
game,
now.
and I'm gonna guess that women
Oh.
have designated.
I
period
got a
panties.
horse.
Yeah,
in this
that makes
game.
sense.
I don't want to hear about your
No,
horse in this
no,
game.
I know that women have period panties.
Yeah, that you
I'm not
don't-
saying that you
Do
don't.
you-
You don't want to.
I'm not trying to argue that fact.
It makes sense. I just never thought of it.
Wait,
Like,
can
it never
I
crossed
don't
my
have
mind.
period pants because I don't wear panties.
So you have period pants.
Ooh.
Period pants.
Period pants.
Somebody turn on the
I
fan.
have period, yeah, turn on the fan because I'm menstruating. No, I do. I have period,
Open a window.
Open a fucking window. But you have period panties because yeah. But this is the thing. Menstruation is beautiful. Everyone should pray for menstruation.
So it was the
I
show
do.
Room Raiders
Yeah,
was
dude.
3 prospective dates in like an RV or something, watching on closed circuit television as someone tore apart their rooms.
Yeah, that.
And I remember this is like in the days of like desktop.
And they'd get a black light in there. They'd get a spy kit, and it had tweezers for picking up the period panties. It had a magnifying glass for looking at pubes real close,
Oh,
and it
no.
had a black light for a black light in the bed.
That's so
and every
fucking
time it was a
trashy.
girl, the dudes would tell on the period panty and go, "What is this? What is this?" And then the girls would go in and they'd turn off the lights and they'd black light the bed and they'd go, "Jizz, jizz everywhere."
See, you're recalling this from the woman's perspective, but I remember an episode where it was like a girl going through a guy's room, and then the guy had like a desktop computer, and they brought up his like
Search history.
search history.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What is this teen porn?" That's gross.
yeah.
And then the end of the episode, it's just like she dismisses the one guy who had the teen porn on his computer, and he goes up to her and he's like, "I just want you to know, like teen porn is a category on porn websites. It's girls 18 or 19. It's not weird stuff."
Teen porn
God
is like
bless him.
one of the most tame categories too on Pornhub. honestly,
sure.
I think.
I'm gonna say this was early 2000s, so this was
Really? Yeah, I have no
This
idea
is
about
this
the
is
internet
the
then.
wilder west of porn.
I was 6 years
That's
old.
right.
I was
Not-
barely
not-
watching porn at that time.
Barely.
But
Infrequently.
starring in it
Yeah.
fully.
You can find it. You can find it. Go. Sad boy begs for a cream pie.
Okay, this is where if I had a buzzer, I'd say no. We have to stop telling pedophile jokes, for the love of God. If we want Blue Apron to sponsor us, we have to stop coming on children.
Hey! These aren't jokes.
And if you like,
Kayla, I want you to know we're only coming on children metaphorically.
and if you want a delicate cream
Oh,
sauce
God.
for
Oh
dinner,
boy!
visit blueapron.com.
There goes my big boy job.
Use promo code.
And here comes
Come
the
on,
move.
kids.
Come on, kids. tasty meal subscription from Blue Apron. Come on, kids, dinner's ready.
Wow. Oh, the places you'll go. This is the 3Q Boys podcast.
I just killed mine. That was awesome.
Little boy
Jesus
job.
Christ.
God, I'm gonna lose my fucking job.
Guys, this isn't. Hold on, I would like to say something. Seriously, we
Just so you
have
know,
to
just
stop
so you
telling
know.
pedophile jokes.
If you're unfamiliar with my voice, my name is Mike Nordstrom.
My name is Martin Burfong.
Holy
My name
shit.
is Soren Nordstrom.
Guys,
This white place is, isn't it?
At jeffordnanson.com.
Yeah.
My dad asked me to use a alias the other day.
Dude, my mom's done that same thing to me.
Yeah.
Oh, your mom passive aggressively. So Chris's mom's friend told her that she saw Chris, and then he got passive aggressive texts from his mom that were like, "Hey, I hope you're not talking about my
Because my mom has
job
told me
on
before,
stage."
like, don't talk about my job on stage. And my opener sometimes is my mom works at Annalee High School.
Yeah.
so
You have a very specific joke.
Yeah, it's a very specific
Her
joke
job.
about her job. And then somebody from her work said that they saw me do stand up in Santa Rosa, and my mom said somebody from my work said that they saw you and that it was hilarious. And I hope you're not talking about me on stage. And I was like, of course not.
I've definitely had
my
one
opener.
of like.
It's my opener. I told her that.
I had a
But
summer
it's played
school
off
teacher in
sarcasm.
high school who saw me do stand up once. I'm like, I know you work at the high school I used to go to.
Yeah.
I hope you're, dude.
I see my old English teacher working at Target all the time, and I found a
They're working at Target now.
yeah.
Wow.
So, and I never know whether to address that he's alive or not because I don't want to make him feel weird for working at Target. Shout out to classism, but he. I found a book that I took from his classroom, like in high school, in a box I just unpacked recently, and I almost brought it back to Target to give to him, and I was like, I think that might be too many layers of awkward to be like, I stole this from you, and you lost your job.
What's the book?
It's one of the Redwall books.
I'm not familiar.
It's like anthropomorphic mice fighting battles.
See, this is the
okay.
cultural Mike Guys portion of this podcast where we talk about elements of pop culture.
Let's get to the Martin Rufo part where we all cry.
I've been doing that silently for the last 20 minutes.
With your dick tip.
I
Just pre-cum.
That's,
I've been
Oh,
coming
boy.
silently
God's
for
tears.
hours.
everything comes
That's
back
when
to
God,
dicks.
God
I love
comes.
it.
Yeah, that's. Listen, if you're expecting highbrow content, Martin, you came to the wrong podcast studio.
Because you got
Wait, I
highbrows,
thought this
not
was
eyebrows.
Ah,
Oh, but
it's mine, it's my lighter now.
Come on! Come on, let me hold it.
No, it's mine now.
that's such a
Mike,
parent thing to
if
do.
you take the lighter from me and actually hold it for me, I'm going to flip out like a fucking toddler.
Have you ever seen it?
I'm gonna
Please
flip
hold
the
on.
fucking
Have you
table.
ever
I
seen
want this recorded.
No, no, Mike,
Raisins?
I want you to hand me the fucking lighter right now, and I won't make a big deal
No,
out of it.
so-
Jesus Christ.
All right, thank you.
Look, there's a.
You see
there's-
that?
I want
You
the
see
like.
that?
I want the record.
Are we done with the struggle for Middle Earth over here, or what the fuck, guys? Are we good? Are we
I'm glad I
good?
got that
Are
recorded.
everyone's testicles still intact and juicy? They haven't shriveled and fallen off. We can all continue.
There's no
Well,
guarantee
You'd be
that.
surprised.
Well,
I showed up with, anyway.
mine are on the brink. Mine are hanging by a thread.
Are
right
they
now.
like sun-dried tomatoes?
Would you
Withering
say
on
they're
the
hanging
vine?
by a best front?
They're more like fried
What?
green tomatoes.
Fine.
Fried green tomatoes?
Because I've never bitten into one.
This is a
jokes.
I'm speechless.
You ever
I've
been
always
into your
wanted. I've always
testicle?
dreamed about it.
I like that you just
and I've watched
did
the movie.
Did you-
Okay.
Oh shit!
I'm just gonna say I haven't seen Fried Green Tomatoes.
It's a good
Yeah,
movie.
it's
My
This
a-
is
mom
the
showed it to
cultural
me.
Mike Guys
Good
portion of
movie.
this podcast. Would you recommend it to me?
Yes, it's absolutely one of the greatest. Kathy
Yeah.
Bates has a tour de force
Kathy
performance.
Bates. Hell
Yes,
yeah.
she wraps
Kathy
herself
Bates.
in cellophane in order
of
to
porn.
entice her. She goes to the door, and her husband comes home. Someone's like, "If you want to get him rock hard, wrap your Kathy Bates body in cellophane like a toaster pastry, and sit in front of the fucking door, and he'll come home, and they'll be rock hard instantly." And he opens the door, and he's just like, "What are you doing?"
Okay,
And
I'm
all of
surprised
her
you didn't say
humanity is shed in that moment.
Taking it from
And then
wow.
she loses her mind. She starts trampolining like a motherfucker, trying to get hot and sexy. She rear ends a car of youths. Of sassy youth. A car of sassy youths offends her, and so she rams them with
Sappy
her car.
or sassy?
Sassy.
Kathy Bates.
Sassy Kathy rear ends everyone with her car, and then she thinks I'm gonna leave it there because I think we all know you should watch this movie. It's 5 fried green tomatoes way up.
All right. What? Oh no, I'm good. Plus, there's one right there.
Martin, there's no escaping. You think you're not going to drink so you can drive out of here? You're not driving out of here. You might as well have a good end to your life.
I mean, it's like
Nobody who comes in the podcast garage leaves the podcast.
I mean, there's a 60% chance I'm gonna sleep on that couch.
Here's the thing. Last time I think they recorded, you got so drunk you slept on this couch.
That was 2 times ago. But
2
yeah.
times ago.
2 times ago?
Yeah.
We aren't counting.
Wait, was it 2 times ago? Or
I'm
was
not counting. Yeah.
It was 2 times ago.
Or
Because
It's
that
done
was the
last
wet-
time, but the
that
time
was the
after
wet
last
cat
time.
food.
Not last time,
I
but
don't
the time
wanna-
before.
I don't
Mike
wanna-
Nordstrom came knocking on my door.
I
Said,
don't
hey, I
wanna
need to piss to
blow.
sleep because I'm drunk.
Okay.
I don't want to blow the roof off of this podcast, but I think you may double up sometimes you record.
But it was 2. Can you trust me? It was the wet cat food
Excuse me?
fiasco.
Anyway, here's the thing. He slept inches away from where I sleep, but just on the other side of a wall, and I didn't know he was in here the whole time.
Did
Were
hear
you
the sounds of
masturbating
loud
furiously?
porn
Yeah, just
coming
no.
from here?
Just
Screaming.
this young, cute boy.
Yeah, yeah. Is that Mike or Mike? I don't know.
It's Mike.
It was one of us. So
Mike, be Mike. That'd be a great TV show. If you
Mike
lived in
or
here
Mike?
and Mike lived in there.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I-
Mike, you should move in here, dude. Have you
Yeah,
thought
that'd be
about
great.
it? Have you thought about it? It'd be great. It'd be
I
great.
thought about it. I'm like, I wish I could sleep on a couch that's too small for my body.
But we could outfit it, you know?
No, we could get you a couch and
We could get you
fucking
a bed.
Plug the fridge in.
If you got me a bed, I'll be here in a heartbeat.
You'd be so
For real?
much closer
Oh,
to
for
that.
real?
We're trying to actually build a
Mike,
comedy
how about
mansion.
this?
Yeah.
How about this? Instead of a bed, hear me out.
Okay.
Hammock.
Hammock.
That's a
Oh,
wild
man.
card.
Wild card.
We're
gonna put a
podcast.
palm trees in here. We're gonna get you a hammock.
We're
I have a
gonna-
used TV. You guys want? Anybody looking for a used TV?
Yeah, we're always looking
Oh
for
yeah, we
used
could
TV.
use one.
We're
I
putting it on
think-
the used TV pile.
We're all
So,
getting out
how
of
much-
this podcast. Is that we're all going to
I'll
move
give it
into
to you
this
for free, I
house?
don't care.
We're all moving into this house. Martin, you too?
Yeah.
Sure.
Ah,
Oh,
just-
great.
does
great.
anyone have
that was
any-
sincere.
Last
no.
words.
Don't you dare last
Does
word us.
anyone have any last words?
Tell my mother I love
I also
Wow.
love your mom.
her. We all.
Thank
love
you for
her.
listening. This has been a great way to honor Christ, I think. We've all really grown as people, and I'm very, very glad I was a part of
Do we
this.
want to reflect on what we've learned? That's part of my
Okay.
my podcast.
Yes.
Let's talk about what we've learned. Do we remember what we've learned? Anybody?
I've
Just-
learned that I am doing a disservice to womanhood and letting down my family, my children, and my God.
You're not a girl anymore. You're a cute boy.
You're a cool boy. You remember that.
Martin, do you have a sign off for your podcast?
I don't. I usually just ramble awkwardly. All right, guys, have a good week. I'll be back soon. Probably not. I record this maybe every 3 weeks.
See, I think
so
Everybody's
Specu-
already turned off this
We've
podcast.
speculated
Yeah, exactly.
about doing this as a 3-way swap cast where we
Right.
all release this episode.
Oh, that gets me so
I,
hard.
well, yeah, I
Martin's
heard about
Martin's
that.
not
I don't know if I
gonna
want to
release
release this.
Martin's not gonna release this. Martin,
no, that's fair.
We
that's
talked
fair.
a lot about kid fucking. I don't know. If I
Seriously,
I don't
no.
believe
no,
that
no,
for an
no,
instant.
Martin.
Allegedly. We need-
Refresh my memory
Michael.
because I
We
did
talked
not-
about dog fucking.
the dog fucking too.
Yeah.
All
Guys,
right.
I want to stop talking about fucking things that shouldn't be fucked, okay?
That's a good sign off. Let's go with
I
that.
sign up.
Wait, this has been Mike Whitaker of The Cultural Mike Guys, Martin Marufo of the Martin Marufo Roofies podcast, Mike
And also-
Nordstrom, Chris Ferdinandson, and Kayla Keller. Shut your goddamn bitch mouth, I'm talking. Play us out, Chris.
Hasta lasagna.
3 cute boys. 3 cute
Hasta
boys.
lasagna.
Fucking play us
My sign
out.
off.
Thanks for listening.
Chris.
I love you.
Love you.
Peace.
Good night, honey.
And that's the podcast.